Okay. So my earliest musical memory is of getting ready to go to bed, and my mom would sing to me every night before bed. So she would read me a story, and then when I was older, I would read stories with her. But she would always end the night by singing me a song. And my mom was Brazilian, so she sang to me in Portuguese, which is one of the first ways that I learned how to speak that language. And she would always sing me the same songs that she heard when she was a kid. So one of those songs was about a cockroach that like steps onto the bald spot of some old man's head and starts dancing, which sounds kind of gross to me, but somehow in the context of the story or the song, it was really funny. All right, so your turn. 1 second, let's just make sure Jenny's good. Okay.
Okay. My earliest memory of music was when I was little. Me and my dad used to just like sit down at a kitchen table, and he would turn on the radio, and we would listen to music while we had lunch and had snacks. And then usually when I went to bed, my mom, she used to sing with me. She would sing to me, and then I would actually fall asleep like that because I was so tired every night. And then I would just fall asleep, and my mom would just sit there and watch me fall asleep until she knew I was ready, like actually into my sleep, and she could go.
We had a festival in the gym, I think last year, and we went to go leave, and I asked my mom if I could play the violin because they had like different instruments, and I got to play it.
When I was little, I got to play the ukulele, and I would play it every day, and it came from Hawaii, and it has like these plastic strings on it, and it's
My first time hearing music was when I was laying down in a baby crib watching SpongeBob.
I was playing the guitar, and I had really fun playing with it.
First time I ever heard music was my mom singing to me when I was little.
The first time I learned music was when we went to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday.
My first time I ever heard music was when my mom used to sing to me.
My earliest music memory was when my mom, like when I was little, and my mom would put me to sleep by singing me a song.
All right, so we've heard a lot of similar stories. How many of us told a story about our mom? I did. Yeah. How many told a story about our mom singing us to sleep? So that's, when we're kids, that's one of the first things we'll ever remember, because before we know how to talk, like our moms are singing to us. That's a really common thing. And then, what's another place that we heard in the circle of places that people heard music for the first time? What else did you hear from someone else? Yes?
Like playing instruments.
From playing instruments. So we had a guitar and we had a ukulele. What else did we hear? We heard music associated with a particular character. Anyone remember who that was?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. And I also heard SpongeBob, I think, right? That's right. And so it's really great that, music is for a lot of different reasons, right? Think about the reasons that your mom would sing to you, or the reasons that you would hear music associated with a TV show or something like that, or that you would play music. So I want to pass the talking stick one more time and ask a slightly different question, which is, why do you think that music was happening at that time? So if it was somebody who was singing to you, or if it was music that was playing as part of the show, what do you think the purpose of that was?
I think the purpose with my mom singing to me was so I can get to sleep, and I could just wake up in the morning and be ready for anything or whatever we were going to do that next day. And
My purpose is when I played the violin, I never got to play it before.
My purpose was so I could know how to play it so when I get in high school and stuff.
My purpose is because I was a baby.
My purpose was because I wanted to play the guitar because I seen other people do it and it sounded fun.
My purpose was so I could get to see basketball and play.
My purpose was for my birthday to make me happy.
My purpose was because my mom wanted me to go to sleep.
My purpose was because my mom wanted me to go to bed easier.
Great. So we had a lot of moms who were just like, please go to sleep. We also had, the idea being, you can start an instrument really, really early, and by the time you get to high school, you're going to be really, really good, right? Or I want to start an instrument because it looks like a lot of fun. Or I want to watch this TV show and, experience this character because, heck, that's a lot of fun too. Okay, so a lot of really good reasons. Did anyone ask their parents what their earliest memories were of music? Did anyone ask? Okay, we got one over here. We have 2. Anyone else? Okay, we got 4. All right, so why don't we pass the stick this way?
When my dad was little, his earliest memory was when his dad was in a band.
When my mom was little, she would go to church and sing for the song.
When my dad was little, his mom would sing to him.
When my mom was little, she went to church to sing to melodies.
When my dad was little, his mom bought him a guitar so he can play it. I don't have one.
That's okay.
My stepmom went to Hawaii and got the ukulele so I could play it.
My dad used to sit down with my dad's dad. He would sit down with my dad and he would turn on the radio and they would sit at the kitchen table and just listen to music.
Wonderful. All right, great. So does anyone have any questions for anyone else in the circle based on the stories you heard or anything else that was said today? It's a good time to find out more about the people who are in the circle with you. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Does anyone remember the songs that were sung to you as you were going to bed? Oh, good. Let's start here.
Rockabye Baby.
You're all my sunshine.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
You're my sunshine.
SpongeBob.
Don't have one.
Don't have one.
Mine was a weird Brazilian song.
Yeah.
It went like, eu vi uma careca na careca do vovó. It went like that. It was really funny. But I also happen to love You Are My Sunshine. It's kind of my favorite and it makes me feel happy all the time. Good. Any other questions that anyone has for anyone else in the group? So I have a question for you. Did you continue to play the ukulele?
Kind of. Not really. I don't really play it anymore.
And did you ever get to go to Hawaii or just hear about it? Yeah, I was in Hawaii a few years ago and I saw a bunch of ukuleles being made and, being played. And there was this one guy who was at a tiki bar and he was playing this ukulele, but he had the strings on it backwards and he played it using the wrong hand. Like he played the whole instrument backwards, which was, I didn't even understand that until I saw him sitting next to someone else and one instrument's going this way, the other instrument's going that way. It's kind of interesting. Other questions? Don't be shy. Do you still play violin?
No, not
Not anymore? Okay, good. How are we doing? Do you want to come back together for a
I
little?
do. Try to come back together and talk
Okay,
about
let's do it.